We conclude our study of Revelation 14 this week by looking at number 13, Ablaze with God's Glory, in our series on 3 cosmic messages. And there isn't actually a verse from Revelation 14 this week. There are some from Revelation 5, Revelation 13, and then other verses from John, from Exodus, and then 1 Thessalonians 5. And I'd like to begin there. Brothers and sisters, we do not need to write anything to you about prophetic times and dates. And every time I read this, I think he must be writing to us, because we have prophetic times and dates by the score, don't we? You yourselves know very well that the day of the Lord will come like a thief in the night. When people talk about peace and security, suddenly they will be completely ruined. It will be just like the sudden onset of childbirth, and they certainly won't escape. But you, brothers and sisters, are not in the dark about this, so you won't be caught by surprise when the day of judgment arrives suddenly like a thief. For you are all children of light and children of the day. We don't belong to the night or to darkness. So then, we shouldn't be sleeping like everybody else. We should stay awake and keep ourselves clear-headed. That's good advice, isn't it? Telling us how we are to be ready for all of this. Ablaze with God's glory. Is that what God is anticipating? I don't really think so. We see it that way. When the earth will be filled with the glory of God as the waters cover the sea, as the water fills the sea, that's the way that God's glory will be displayed at the end. And we think that's amazing, but for God, it's just who he is. So I think that as we consider being ablaze with God's glory at the end, we should be concentrating far more on, as we saw in one of the previous lessons, on the vindication of God as being true and right and just and good and all those other qualities, because that is what is important in all of this particular study. Revelation 14 is a challenge because it has wording in there which needs a lot of explanation. I would suggest that when you begin to study with people, begin in the Gospels, particularly the Gospel of John, and show them what Jesus is like. And once they've got the concept that if you've seen me, you've seen the Father, as Jesus said, then you can look at some of these more difficult passages so that we can understand things through the lens of Jesus, who showed us the true nature and character of our loving God. That's really important. Don't jump straight away to the smoke of their torment ascends forever and ever, and they have no rest day or night, and the mark of the beast, and the beast that rises up from the sea, and then the image to the beast and all the rest. Leave that until they have some mature understanding of who Jesus is and what he's like, and to concentrate on the fact that this is God, that God is wanting a relationship with you and with me as we come to decide whose side we are on. Because at the end that we've just read about, when we see the signs fulfilling, when we see Jesus coming on the clouds of heaven, as we are taken home to be with him, and as the New Jerusalem descends to this planet and we live there, and God himself will be with us, we will be his people, he will be our God. There is no need for any external lights, because God is light, and he will be the one who fills the whole of New Jerusalem, where we will live with light, and no one who is bad will be there. There won't be anybody coming in who isn't going to be a true follower of God and his ways. This is the end time scenario that we look forward to. If I had been writing, I think I would have been concluding with Revelation 21 and 22. And I suggest that you go back and read those, because they are such incredible chapters about how God is going to bring it all together and how we will be finally at home with our loving Lord. May we all be there. May God bless you as you think about these things.